Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the In-Groove in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm going to do an unboxing video from the Mega Singles collection. This is going to be box 35, box 70, and a miscellaneous box titled Sub Pop Singles. Alright, let's take a look. So, been a while since I've actually filmed one of these videos. I've actually cleaned the room, so we are sitting in an area that used to have the singles in it, but yeah, let's take a look. Voice of the Beehive. So this is a collection of about 30,000 new wave punk garage psychedelic singles. Most of this collection is absolutely stone mint. This is how he stored everything inside of these LP sleeves. Got the buttons. Inside of the LP sleeves, and then everything was generally put into 45 sleeves when it was purchased. I have not actually gone through these boxes. Well, the next box I've actually gone through. I'll explain to you the situation with that. The Leather Nun. But, when I purchased the collection, I essentially checked to make sure some of the key stuff was there. And then I just made the purchase based off of that. That's pretty late. 1989, Cyndi Lauper single. It's cool. This one has a little pinwheel in it. The guy kind of specialized in, he had some American stuff, but for the most part, he really dug on the mainstream artists, the international singles. So there's a lot of Canadian, a lot of Australian, and a lot of UK stuff. Let's see, the Lemon Kittens, the Lemon Heads. Interesting. The Chemical Bank, 1979. Sometimes it's hard to date these things. You look on this, and this is out of Holland, 1979, but it's just so mint. It looks like, it could have been any decade. Now, obviously, some of them you can kind of gain a feel of when it was made, but this is a French single. Led Zeppelin. It's weird. Like this is actually for a Japanese single. That must have had a lot of distribution in the United States. You actually see that a lot. I think I probably had that come into the store, 5 times, maybe once a year, 5, 6 times in the last, 5 years. Yoko Ono and John Lennon. I'm guessing this is Yoko was kind of just stuffed in here. A lot of these are doubled up too, so like there's 2 copies of there, 2 copies. 2 copies. 2 copies. French copy of Jealous Guy. Real nice and clean. The Lude. Now, the way the guy presented the collection, he'd have a sheet. And if it was something along the lines of, something he had a lot of, that was notated. So, it's, box 50 had these 5 artists in it. Well, every one of these boxes have significantly more stuff in it, but all the onesies and twosies, stuff like that would not be on there. So it's kind of a mystery what are in these boxes, because maybe Julian Lennon was on there, but that's not a big deal. But the winners of the collection is the more obscure, squirrely stuff. But there's not a lot of rhyme or reason to the collection as far as construction. I mean, he bought what he liked, and if he found an artist he just tried to collect, if he was even remotely fond of that artist, he just bought everything. Every version, every variation that he could possibly find of that particular artist. Dennis Quaid is Jerry Lee Lewis. And this is the end of this box. What do we got here? Lipstick Killers. Interesting looking. David Lindley. Let's see. Put. Weird. All right. Let's try to move this stuff a little out of the way. All right. So this stuff is actually not part of this box. I just bringing some stuff back from the store. So this is a box that I actually brought to the store and I missed. Started putting this stuff on Discogs and I was like, wait a minute, I didn't film this. But really, really rare Ralph Singles box. I mean, just minty. Less than 500 of these were made. Put it on Discogs and I was like, wait a minute. Let me double check and make sure that's all there. So, crack it open, start going through the singles. And what do I find? Yeah. The Beatles Play the Residents. Nice minty original. I was, wow. Pretty glad I cracked open that box. Somebody would have been happy. But the rest of this box is pretty small. There's not much in it. This was like a box of box sets. There's a few singles in here. And unfortunately, one of the things he did that was actually quite annoying in this collection is he pulled things apart. So like if it was a box set, for instance, if this had a cassette in it, this REM box, it wouldn't have been in the box. It would have actually been with what I would assume his cassette collection. Like this Elvis EP collection, all the EPs are gone. They're somewhere loose, but yeah. And this was kind of some oversized stuff. Little swing packet. Voice of the Beehive. And that is it for that box. But somehow that slipped and made its way to the store without being filmed. And like I said, I want to try to film this whole collection. So this box is marked Sub Pop Singles. It's got a date of 2013. So yeah, this is actually we're in the 800s here. So yeah, this is actually early O's. Like most of the Sub Pop stuff he had. A lot of the Singles Club stuff. Oh, that's pretty cool. So, a lot of color variations. Let's see. Blitz and Trapper. Some really cool colored stuff here. And going all the way back to the very beginning, he typically had 2 minimum of every single Sub Pop single. Even if you look at some of my previous videos, 2 copies of Nirvana Love Buzz. There's 3 of those. A couple Mark Suttons. Deer Hunter, Fleet Foxes, couple more copies of that. Yeah, some of this is decent. A lot of this. That looks cool. What is that? The Vaseline's demo. SP903. Maybe that was a bonus with something. I'll have to do a little research on that. The Dum Dum Girls. Soundgarden. Kind of a reissue. I've hunted down. That first single was actually in the collection as well. Multiple stuffed in there. I want to say all in all, there's maybe 10 boxes of Sub Pop stuff in this collection. I mean, it is pretty extensive. Mud Honey. Yeah, it looks like all of this is like 2008 to maybe 2012. I like how some of these kind of have that vintage. You know, some of them they did in the vintage Sub Pop design. Some of them are just a modern look. It's looking like it is about it for this video. All right, guys. I'm Mike. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time.